Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Nitamisya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Krama Sindhabhyevacha Paidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Karoti Vachalam Pungam Langa Aite Grim Kripatam Munde Shri Guru Namatam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Pracharne Riseshamani Paschati Tishtani Hare Krishna Palayanti Prajapala Yavadantam Vibhagashaha Yajnaphaga Bhujo Deva Ye Chetatran Vitascha Hari Ye Chatatran Vitascha Tai. So, to enjoy the results of sacrifices yajnas, the rulers of the world, namely the sons and grandsons of Manu, discharge the orders of Supreme Personality of Godhead until the end of Manu's reign. The demigods also share the results of the sacrifices. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Evam Parampara Praptam Rajarshi Vidu, the supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. And the saintly kings understood this way. This parampara system extends from Manu to Ikshvaku and from Ikshvaku to his sons and grandsons. Purport is, let me finish the purport. The rulers of this world in the line of hierarchy execute the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the parampara system. Anyone interested in peaceful life must participate in this parampara system and perform yajnas. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas in the parampara system of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we must perform Sankirtan yajna all over the world. Yajna Sankirtana Praya Rejanti Sumedasa. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the age of Kali. And he'll be easily satisfied if the Sankirtan movement is spread vigorously all over the world. This will make people happy without a doubt. Hare Krishna. You're all doing well, and thank you for joining. And so the chapter name is the system of the universal management. The system of the universal management. Actually, one time Akbar asked Birbal, why in your tradition the god comes again and again? I think they might have asked this question because no, definitely there are so many prophets, but they don't see God appearing so much in Islam. So not so many times actually. You see only prophets. Islam is an offshoot of Christianity, and from Ibrahim, they call Abraham in Christianity, and same person is called Ibrahim. Are one of the sons of Abraham. If I remember correctly, Abraham is the name in Christianity, and he is called Ibrahim in Islam. So that's how it is. So, but you don't see the manifestation of God. So he asked this question to Birbal. Then Birbal said, Birbal knew the answer, but he wanted to give the right answer at the right time. Very important thing is time, so that it will understand correctly. So, my lord, give me some time. One day, there was a festival, and in that festival, Everyone is enjoying, and Akbar had a small son. And everyone is playing, and there's a pool, swimming pool, the lake. And a small child, as was watching the activities in the swimming pool, the boy fell in the pool. When the king saw that there may be so many people ready to rescue the child, but Akbar immediately jumped in the waters, and he he grabbed his child and saved him and embraced him and brought him out of the pool. And naturally, right, his whole dress was wet. He didn't care. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So then Birbal asked, and the boy they made sure the boy was safe, and everything was all right. And Birbal asked this question, my lord, there were so many people watching there were so many people to rescue. There are even better swimmers than you. Why did he jump? Akbar said, he's my son. I love him more than anyone. I know there are better swimmers than me, but I never thought of that. So he's my son, and I cannot imagine him going through any inconvenience. Because I knew swimming, I did not depend on anybody. Birbal said, my lord, that is the answer. For the question that you asked few days ago. Why in your tradition God comes again and again? Because in our tradition he loves us. When he sees his children, the mankind, when he sees them suffering, he sometimes comes himself to rescue out of his love for his children, the mankind. Then sometimes, of course, that is the only reason why he comes again and again and again. And Akbar said, I understood. So, but of course, the first living entity in our creation is we all, of course, this universe is mainly one reason. We all have desire to enjoy independent of Krishna. So, but to ensure that we are safely escorted back to spiritual world, Krishna has created a universal system of management, created a wonderful universe, and the first living, created Brahma, and Brahma created. So this actually, Bhagavatam 10 topics. Sarga, atra sargo visargasya, sthanam poshanamotaya, manvantareshan kathanam, nirodha muktiyasraya. First one is Sarga, creation. So Krishna is one. He created through his, you want when there are so many living entities. Ekapad, last week I think I said, I don't remember whether I said or not. 4 out of 4, if you consider the entire Jagat, cosmic manifestation as 4 parts, 3 parts is spiritual world only, 1 part only material world. So what he did, he expanded himself into the Chaturayuha, the Narayan, the Chaturayuha, then Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu created from his body Mahatattva, Prakriti, Pradhan, then to Mahatattva, and he created Brahma. From his body universes came, and the Garbhosa Vishnu. Then Brahma's second part, Visarga, second creation. Then Brahma created the first living entity of this world. Who is that? Swayambhu Manu. And from his body he created his wife, Satarupa. Hello? Can everyone hear, right? So, Swayambhu
Yes,
Manu and
Prabhu.
Satarupa, Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa, and they gave birth to 2 sons and 3 daughters. Devahuti, Akuti, Prasuti, and what is it? Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Priyavrata and Uttanapada, 5 children. But if you see Swayambhu Manu's way of, it lived a very, very long life actually, no? So how long does a Manu live? 43 lakh 43 lakh 20,000 years into 71. That much long life, you know. But what he did, he used it for purifying his existence, and at the end he went back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Swayambhu Manu, so then there is a first family, you know. From there, Brahma, you continue the creation. Brahma told Swayambhu Manu. And that's how the creation continued. So what is that? Um, um, Coming back to today's verses, so what did the devatas are created? Devatas came into existence, to balance the affairs of this world. But what is the goal of this universe? Behind Krishna creating everything? Atra sarga, visarga, sthanam, poshanam, only one thing, to claim the conditioned souls back to spiritual world. So again and again, what is that? Krishna comes, and if you see today's verse, we just finished Advaita Acharya's appearance day. Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu and Sadasya combined, and then we finished Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. So can you believe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Yugal Rupa of Radha and Krishna? And it is said, is more merciful. Why? His combination Radha and Krishna. How? How God is more merciful than him, himself? That's his word. Krishna and Radharani, its combination is because in combination is Lord Chaitanya. He himself has become a preacher. And that Godhead. And he came up with only one intention in this incarnation. What is that? This is mentioned in 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Deyam sada parivagno vishtadoham tirdaspadam sevirinchanotam saranyam. Vratyardiham pranatamalam avtipotam vande mahapurushate charanarvit. What Brahma and Shiva virinchi, notam saranyam. They are looking for what? Brahma and Shiva are not looking for anything in this world. They are looking for Krishna Prema. They are not looking for liberation. Shiva is actually, Shiva is always liberated. But Shiva is also looking for a Krishna Prema. That he came to give freely. Hare Krishna. For that person, so magnanimity, the incarnation of magnanimity is Nityananda Prabhu. That person's incarnation of Karuna is Nityananda Prabhu. Wow. He gave one day, Lord, he came to inaugurate Sankirtana movement, Yajnayar Sankirtana Arpanayer, Yajanti Sumedasa, Krishna Varnam Tisa, Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshad. That is a verse in 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. The conversation between Karbajanga Muni and Maharaj Nimi. What are the characteristics of future incarnation? He'll come with his associates and he'll perform what they will perform? Sankirtan Yajna. If everyone performs Sankirtan Yajna, then Prabhupada says this: if 1% of people become Krishna conscious, world will become better. Ideally, Kali Yuga, 25% people should be devotees, should be good people. 75% sin, only 25%. Good 25% good people. But today, Prabhupada said 1970, hardly 3 to 5%. Prabhupada said that. But 50 years later, now it is hardly 1%. You all agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, why? It's because of the nature of this world. I mean, that is the yuga we are in. That Prabhupada says, we are only just 5,000 years now. This is Ugra Kali. But if you really see the enjoyment and people just go away from God, and what do? They enjoy only 5 areas. That's it. They sleep, they eat nicely. What is that? Rupa, Sparsa, Gandha. Um, Granam. Like through nose you smell nicely. Through ears you hear nice things, and you see some nice things, and you eat, and skin opposite sex touch. That's it. These are the 5 ways only living entity can enjoy. Nothing more than that. But of course, mind means some name and fame. That is mental pleasure. But sensual pleasure is only 5 types. That's it. You can write a million objects for sense enjoyment that are mentioned in Walmart or Amazon. What are the 5 ways only Jiva can understand, can enjoy? I just said. Only 5 ways we can enjoy. Rupa,
Rupa, Gandha,
Sparsa,
Sparsha, Gandha.
Granam, and uh, um, Rupa means like eyes for sight, and ears for hearing, and and nose for smelling, and tongue for tasting, and skin for touch. So that's it. You can't do anything. You can, but the material energy is so powerful, and material energy keeps on telling, "Hey, you'll be happy tomorrow." After some time, you'll be happy. That day will never come. Actually, suddenly, the body becomes old. Old age creeps in. How many of you agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's too early to be hungry.
Means what? It is too early to be hungry. I didn't understand.
No, I heard like you said, how many of you are hungry?
No, I didn't say that. How many of you agree? I said.
Agree. Okay.
I'm sorry. So anyway, my point is, no, I said, no, one day I'll be happy. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I get this, I'll be happy. Usually it is some position or some object, some possession. Very interesting. Usually we don't get what we want. When we get what we want, we become complacent with that object, like TV. First day you may be very glued, or for cell phone, or any time when you purchase the first car, or sometimes we forget, that we lose taste for that. You may use it. Second thing is you get what you want, but 50% you don't get what you want in that object. Some portion you like, some portion you don't like. Anyway, this is the nature of the world. But Nityananda Prabhu, the magnanimous incarnation of Karuna incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya told him, and him and Haridas Thakur, you just go and beg. What is that begging? Begging means you are putting that person on higher stage and yourself lower stage. What is that? Accept Krishna consciousness. Bolo Krishna Vajo Krishna Koro Krishna Siksha Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Pranada. Go door to door and ask them to take up Krishna consciousness. And they would do that. And just because people who would open the doors, Nityananda Prabhu would fall at their feet. And they say, sir, India was very pious 500 years ago. What do you want? Because you're a beggar at the doorstep. Only one thing. Can you please take up Krishna consciousness? Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Siksha. Chant the name of Krishna. Sing the glories of Krishna. Learn about Krishna. Why? Krishna is our father. Krishna is our mother. Krishna is our life savior. And people would accept. Some people, you know what? These people, they come to our homes in the mood of beggars, and they would see all the items that we have. And they would come later to steal. Close the doors. And they would reject them. Hare Krishna. Beggar means no expectation. Thank you very much for opening the doors. Amazing. So Balramji, Balramji was very strict. Just because Ramaharshana didn't get up, Balramji became so angry, he picked up a blade of grass and put it on his head and killed him. Why? You're sitting on Vyasasan. You need to preach to people behavior, right mentality, svabhava, not just downloading information. You're telling all these things, but you yourself don't follow. You're a hypocrite. You and I cannot read the minds. But so this is Balramji, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can read the minds of others. Same Balramji came as Nityananda Prabhu. The same blade of grass he would put in his mouth. Means what? I am lower than a blade of grass. Means you don't need to give me any value. Please take up Krishna consciousness. Amazing. What do you think? And one day they were going and they happened to see this Jagai and Madai. Usually in the temples, when they perform these dramas, they portray Jagai and Madai as like a funny characters. No, they're very cruel. They're very cruel. And there is no sin that they did not commit. Burning the homes, killing people, robbing, stealing. And when they don't find anybody to do that, they would beat them, they would beat each other, fully drunk. So one day Nityananda Prabhu thought, if these people change, the world will come to know, Navadvip will come to know the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. I'm not stopping the story, but anyway, let me finish the story then. And we all know the story. First time, they were so upset that somebody was dare enough to come and preach to them. And they tried to catch them, but they ran away. Second time, Nityananda Prabhu made sure he was alone. He went alone and told, brothers, please, Bolo Krishna Vajo Krishna Kuro Krishna Siksha Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Pranada. Take up Krishna consciousness. Chant the name of Krishna. Learn about Krishna. Sing the glories of Krishna. He is our father, he is our mother, he is our life savior. Mother felt it as a offense. How dare you come and tell us? That day you escaped. And he picked up a liquor pot and smashed his head. And Nityananda was bleeding. Then Nityananda Prabhu, no problem, but please take up Krishna consciousness. Huh? Again he picked up another pot to attack Nityananda Prabhu. But Lord Chaitanya came to know. He rushed and he said, Chakra, Chakra. And Chakra manifested from Vaikuntha. And Nityananda Prabhu said, if you kill everyone, in Kali Yuga, everyone is Jagai Mata. It's actually Jagai saved me. Really, Jagai saved you? Then I'll give him what everyone is looking for, Krishna Prema. Lord Chaitanya embraced him and took all his sins and gave him Krishna Prema, and Jagai fainted. Having attained that Krishna Prema, love of God. Mother said, whatever you gave it to me, give it to him, please give it to me, because together we did everything till this day. And Mother saw that joy, that ecstatic, divine ecstasy on the face of Jagai. She said, give it to me also. No, you're an offender, Vaishnava offender. If Nityananda Prabhu forgives, I'll give. Nityananda Prabhu said, please give it to him. I forgave him there and then. And Lord Chaitanya gave him too and showed his Narayana form. Hare Krishna. This is the story. But he told the devotees, nobody should recount their past. And Lord Chaitanya told Jagai and Mother, you should not go back to your sinful life. When Lord Chaitanya took their sins, Lord Chaitanya's body became black. Advaita Acharya commented, now you're really perfectly looking like Krishna now. Hare Krishna. And all the devotees shouted Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly. And Lord Chaitanya absorbed all the sins, and Lord Chaitanya's form became golden again. Hare Krishna. Then everyone came to know. Actually, people understood. Wow. But one day Mother confided, my lord, people say you're Balramji, and I offended you, I made you bleed. Nityananda Prabhu said, don't worry. No, my lord, please forgive me. Nityananda Prabhu said, you build the bathing ghats. Even today, there is a Jagai Madai ghat actually. That way you do Vaishnava Seva, you do service to others. That will make Lord Chaitanya happy, Krishna happy. I heard they would chant something like 128 rounds. Something like that. I need to reconfirm. I don't remember exactly. And they would build the bathing ghats. They would work very hard. But these are the people. For somebody, they burned their home. Somebody, they did all this nonsense, So many atrocities they have done on Navadvip Vasis. They would pick up a stone and hit them. One day what happened, one person threw the stone and Mother was hit hard. Mother picked up the stone. Immediately they start running. Oh, brothers, don't run away. Please take this stone. Hit me harder. We were so sinful. But for Lord Chaitanya, would not have been saved. Because of their grace, we are saved. Please take the rock and hit us harder. Please forgive us. Wow. They're really transformed. Amazing. That is Nityananda. In fact, Chaitanya Bhagavat is the one that speaks about the Lord Chaitanya's early lifetimes, early Leela. Vrindavan Das Thakur was a disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And another book is actually Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And one day Nityananda Prabhu appeared in his dream. When what happened, Niketan Ramdas came to the village of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and his brother, did not, his brother offended Miniketan, Miniketan Ramdas was offended by the behavior of his brother. And that night, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and his brother had a conversation. And then that night, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami defended the Siddhanta. Because of that, he had a dream in the night, and Nityananda Prabhu came in the dream. And Nityananda Prabhu came in the dream and told Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, you just go to Vrindavan, all your desires will be fulfilled. He came, and imagine whose lectures he would hear. Raghunath was son of a billionaire. But on the order of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath performed a Paniyati festival. He performed a Paniyati festival. And he served devotees on the order of Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu blessed him. And that blessing of Nityananda Prabhu made Raghunath into Raghunath Das Goswami, who became an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, under Sarudhara Goswami. And he is the one witness to all the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And later, it's Raghunath Das Goswami who went and he would speak Chaitanya Leela on the bank of Radhakund, by the order of Rupa and Sanatan. And one of the audience was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And it is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. And who did the first Navadip Mandal Parikraman, Gaur Mandal Parikrama? Nityananda Prabhu, who took Jiva Goswami around and showed the entire Navadip Parikrama. He took him around and showed that Lord Chaitanya's Leela is eternal. And he told him, you go to Kasi and study under Vidyavachaspati, and then you go to Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has bestowed Vrindavan to your family. And before that, when Rupa and Sanmatan were Dabir Kas and Sakar Malik, and they wanted to give up their jobs and wanted to dedicate their lives to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is that? Who took them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that night? It's actually Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu took Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami got the blessings, and Anupam, of course, their brother Anupam also. They got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu took them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And before that, of course, they also obtained the blessings of Haridas Thakur. So Raghunath Das Goswami got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, Rupa Goswami got the Rupa and Sanatan got the blessings, and Anupam got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, Jiva Goswami got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu. And Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda Prabhu, as a sannyasi, I cannot go everywhere. You don't come to Puri for Rath Yatra. You just stay in Bengal and you preach. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India tour, and he came back, later after some time, he goes to Navadvip. He comes back to Puri. You see so many millions and millions of people, so many people. In Navadvip also, when Lord Chaitanya returns, so many people, where are they coming from? Nityananda Prabhu preaching. In Chaitanya tree, two two branches are very big. What is the biggest branch? Nityananda Prabhu. Second one is Advaita Acharya. These two are very big branches. Nityananda Prabhu appeared in Ekachakra. And to the parents, Hadaya Pandit and Padmavati. And he would perfectly enact all the Leelas of Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Leela and Ram Leela. And somebody would ask, how would you know you have not even gone to school? And Nityananda Prabhu said, I have learned. These are my Leelas. Nobody understood because of Yogamaya when he said that. But at the age of 12, the sannyasi came and requested his father, I'm a traveling mendicant, I am a traveling sannyasi, I need an assistant. Can you send your son with us? And Adaya Pandit Padmavati, they couldn't say no. How can they leave the association of their most beloved son? But like Maharaj Dasharatha, they gave. That's how Nityananda Prabhu left his family. Because that's what he came to this world for. Preach. He traveled all over and finally went to Sringaravata. That's when he came to know that Chaitanya, started Sankirtan movement. But before that, actually, in Pandharpur, he came to Pandharpur. And Lakshmipati Tirtha is the one who is who is in Madhva Sampradaya. Great devotee of Balram. He stayed in the home of a Brahman. He felt powerful. He felt the presence of a powerful personality. That night, Balramji appeared and told him, tomorrow, a Brahman boy will appear to you and ask for initiation. Initiate him. The next day morning, Nityananda Prabhu came to his room and asked for initiation. Very well. When he saw Nityananda Prabhu, his heart filled with love and initiated him. Needless to say, Lakshmipati Tirtha is also Guru for whom? Madhavendra Puri. The connection to our Sampradaya and Madhva Sampradaya. Another connection to our Sampradaya and Madhva Sampradaya is also Nityananda Prabhu. So when he initiated Nityananda Prabhu left and Lakshmipati Tirtha's heart was filled with love. Hare Krishna. So much love. He was feeling separation. That night again, Balramji appeared and transformed himself into Nityananda Prabhu. And then he understood, wow, by my good fortune, that Balramji became his disciple. Lakshmipati Tirtha, he was in ecstasy. And eventually went back to Godhead. So the point is, Nityananda Prabhu eventually joined, stayed in Nandanacharya's home. Chaitanya Bhagavat speaks of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu's meeting, and then Jagai and Madhya pastimes. And eventually he got married to Lord Chaitanya, ordered him to get married. Got married to Vasudha and Jahnavi Mata. Through Vasudha Mataji gave birth to both are actually expansions of Varuni and Revati. Jahnavi Mata is Revati. And Vasudha Mataji is Varuni. Vasudha Mataji gave birth to Virachandra, who is actually Kshirodaksa Vishnu. he also preached. So, of course, he discovered Bankim Rai deity. Yamuna flowed. And so Lord Nityananda discovered Yamuna in Ekachakra. And he also discovered Bankim Rai deity. And in the Bankim Rai deity, at the end, he merged. He disappeared into the deity actually. After that, Mother Jahnu Mother became a guru and preached very extensively. And it transformed so many people's hearts. At the end, she also entered the same deity actually. One point I forgot to mention was when Nityananda was living with living with sannyasi, and the mother Padmavati said, "How can I live without my son?" And that's when the deity of Krishna was given to his mother. The same deity is there in Ekachakra next to Bankim Rai deity, Murlidhar. So, what is that? Nityananda Prabhu is what is Nama Nityananda Tumi Rupe Nityananda Ei Rupe Nityananda Ramamurti Manta Sankarshana Karana Toy Sai Garboda Sai Chapayabdi Sai Sesha Shishans Kalas Nityananda Karam Sarnamustu Nityananda Ram Sarnamustu. So Balramji is the source of that Mahavishnu, Garbhodasa Vishnu, Kshiradaksa Vishnu, and Ananta Sesh. So so the Balramji serves Krishna in all the 5 rasas actually. That Balramji is none other than Nityananda Prabhu. This is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's already time, so I just want to end it here. I have decided to speak about Nityananda Prabhu spontaneously because last week only we celebrated. I don't think anyone has any question. Any question? Ask, otherwise we'll end it today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandapat Pranam. Thank you so much for taking us back again into Nityananda Trayodashi celebration and for narrating such wonderful pastimes of Lord Nityananda. I just got one point. I was not writing the narrations, I was listening to them. So, but I took one point down that a preacher is supposed to be like a beggar, no expectation. So I'm thinking of book distribution and I'm going to keep that point in mind, Prabhu. So that was the takeaway for me. If anybody has any other questions, comments, please go ahead and ask Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madana Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So Prabhuji, generally in the material world, we see people begging on the road and they are begging for, give me some money like that, And here Lord Nityananda is begging for people to take the holy name. So there is so much of difference we see, like, it's almost like they are selfish, self-centered, thinking about themselves. And here, he's an epitome of, giving lot to this thing. And also one more thing I wanted to mention is like, do we understand that that Lord Nityananda is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya? Because how do we understand this? Because Lord Chaitanya himself, right from the beginning, he is glorifying the Lord's name. But in comparison, how do we understand that? Because we also know that Lord Chaitanya came here, and wanted us to chant the holy name. And in the same way, Lord Nityananda also, but it's like, how can we understand like Lord Nityananda is more merciful? That's my question.
Okay, first of all, couple of points. Beggars are, real beggars are actually, there are people, they need something, they have to kill their ego and ask for and beg from us. So we should give something to them actually, rather than judging them, especially when they have, when they have some deformity or something, so there's one point. Second point is Nityananda Prabhu, uh, more merciful, rather than saying like that. Lord Chaitanya's merciful incarnation, actually, for example, if you go to Himalayas, we say the same thing for Krishna also. When you see from distance, you see one, we call all the small peaks as Himalayas. But when you go closer, you see, okay, there is a Kanchenjunga, Everest, Gauri Shankar. So different peaks. So these are all the different facets of Krishna, different facets of Lord Chaitanya. So that way, and Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and Nityananda is Balram, who is the first expansion of Krishna. So that way, what is that? We always say, servitor, what is that? Served Godhead is Krishna, servitor Godhead is Balramji. Likewise, you know, servitor Godhead is Balramji, Nityananda Prabhu, and served Godhead is Lord Chaitanya. So his Karuna incarnation is actually Nityananda Prabhu. So coming back to how to understand, Lord Chaitanya would preach to the classes, Of course, Lord Chaitanya would have, but if you see Nityananda Prabhu, like Lord Chaitanya would preach to Sarva Bhattacharya and Prakasananda Saraswati, Pratap Maharaj, Pratap Rudra, or what is that? So the top class of the top, Prakasananda Saraswati is a crownless king of Kasi, Varanasi. But if you see Nityananda Prabhu, he would preach to Jagahan Badai, dacoits, thieves, rogues and rascals. So Nityananda Prabhu would preach to mass, but their only one goal is to bring people to Krishna consciousness. Uh, Nityananda Prabhu would, what is that? So Aditya Jari says this. So when Haridas Thakur complained to him, jokingly, drunkards want to associate with drunkards. Harinama matta hoya. So Jagayan Mother are drunkards. Nityananda Prabhu is intoxicated by the holy name. So we have a hope. All the conditioned souls in this world have a hope, Nityananda Prabhu. Like we have Radharani, we have a hope. We have an advocate for ourselves. Somebody will speak for ourselves. That's what I can tell today.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And one more question. See, when we talk about Lord Balram, you said would kill with a blade of grass. And then you said that Lord Nityananda would keep a blade of grass in the mouth, as a sign of humbleness that I'm like Pranadapi Sunichena. We hear that, Sister Ashtakam. So now this is happening in different yugas. Like, for example, even in the Krishna book, Lord Krishna is killing. There's so many asuras he's killing, and then Lord Balram is with him. So that trend is more like with Krishna, he's doing all these things, and like you mentioned, one did not get it from Vyasa's son, and he was so angry. But here it is like totally different bhav altogether. So is it because they are kind of dovetailing to what Krishna is, Balram and Lord Nityananda? Like,
Nice question. One is Dwapara Yuga, another is whatever is best for the mankind, they would do, Mataji.
oh,
So, Balramji is conveying a strict message for decade, for yugas to come. There, Ramakrishna is a disciple of Vyasadeva actually. So I'll tell you one point, the small difference. Krishna would come usually as a Kshatriya. Like, Ram is a Kshatriya, Krishna also, of course, as son of Vasudeva is a Kshatriya too. As son of Krishna, as son of Nanda Maharaj, of course, Gopa. So why they would come as Kshatriyas? To establish the rule and basically Krishna also came to give Krishna Bhakti, of course, and that was Raj Prem. But, yada yada dharmasya, reduce the burden of earth. And second thing is establish the laws, the principles, dharma principles, establish dharma. But when it came to Lord Chaitanya came as Brahmana. Why? So, for example, Kali Yuga, first of all, everyone is degraded. Krishna, if you see, Krishna's leelas are very sweet. Krishna is staging these leelas so that people were very peaceful in Dwapara Yuga. Though 50% sin was there, piety was there. And wow, Krishna is so beautiful. So let me practice, so let me do sadhana and go back to Godhead. But when it came to Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya did not come as Kshatriya, he came as Brahmana. So to the extent you follow Brahminical rules, that much extent you are protected from the Kali Yuga, first point. Second point is, Lord Chaitanya exhibited magnanimity, audarya, compassion. He became a preacher. That will melt the people's hearts rather than the leelas. So because the yoga changed. So the point, simple point is, whatever Krishna did, whatever Lord Chaitanya did, whatever Ram did, so based on the mentality of the people of that age. You're understanding?
Yes.
So
Mm.
that's the point actually.
So different yugas, basically. I got that.
Yeah, it's a different yugas, that's it.
And we as studying Bhagavatam, and we are getting different. We have to understand different aspects, because Lord Balram is also right that he's teaching the strict rules, and here he's little bit slack in. And I did like the point that like you made a comparison where he's teaching to the. So for us, when we do our preaching, we should follow Lord Nityananda and preach to all the people. Like, he's not preaching to big people like Lord Chaitanya, right? We should go on the streets, and normal people, we should preach. You should follow the footsteps of Lord Nityananda, right?
Anybody, exactly. That actually, that is instruction Lord Chaitanya gave it to. Can you believe one is Brahma? Haridas Thakur is Brahma, another is Balramji. So
Yes.
if you see when India 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu is actually from a Maithili Brahmana, and Haridas Thakur was an untouchable Yavana. So you cannot imagine a Yavanas going together hand in hand with a Maithili Brahmana knocking the doors. So Lord Chaitanya is telling this will be the future of Kali Yuga. So what is important? If you know bhakti, doesn't matter which caste you are from, where you are from. Accept the Krishna bhakti, practice, the process given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you go back to Godhead. So Kali Yuga is so degraded. To know as much as possible, follow the principle. Not as much as possible, follow strictly the principles given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you will attain the perfection of life in this life. So that, and they are begging, but killing doesn't work. You know, strictly following the principles and punishing people won't work in Kali Yuga. That's what Lord Nityananda Prabhu told Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was like good police, bad police. He invoked the Sudarshan Chakra to create a fear. And so there's a preacher. Nityananda Prabhu knew they would kill, definitely try to hurt him. Then he knew Lord Chaitanya would come, and Ramchandra Puri would blaspheme Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya did not invoke Sudarshan Chakra. He just forgave him. He didn't even say one word. But but the devotee is offended, the devotee is hurt, devotee is injured, Lord Chaitanya become angry. You know? So, Bhataharis, they were coming too far out to kill Lord Chaitanya. And they took Kalakrishnas in their camp. Lord Chaitanya did not invoke Sudarshan Chakra there. So the point is, what works in this world? You be strict with yourself, be lenient with others. And but preach as much as you can. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for answering the question. A wonderful class today. Hare Krishna.
So I think we'll end it here. Vancha kalpatar bishwar vasanti bich patana bhavanam jaishna bhyanam. Ananta kalpashna Shila Prabhupada.
Jai.
My obeisance to all of you.
Yugal Kishore Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Ananta
All
Kalpashna.
assembled devotees ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
All